Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining me on my Monday messages. I don't know about you, but if you're in a situation where somebody says, "Who are you?" and you're not allowed or encouraged to talk about, saying, "Well, I'm a mother," or "I'm a homeopath," or "I'm a, whatever." It can feel quite sticky and quite, quite difficult. Maybe it doesn't for you, but I can struggle with that question. And if that's something that you resonate with, it may be because it feels too big. It feels too all-encompassing, or like you're entering into some kind of contract to actually define exactly who you are. So today I wanted to invite a way of just condensing that and making it actually a nice kind of thought process, a nice journaling process maybe, but also just to hang on to the reason for asking the question in the first place, which is to enable us to feel empowered and grounded and able to know where our boundaries are, and be able to say no when we feel no, and yes when we feel yes, and to know which bits of us are actually saying that yes or that no. So I went to a lovely QTT day on Friday, which is an upskilling live day where all us practitioners meet up, and we usually learn a new technique, a new method, and we practice actually some of the things that make us really good practitioners, and we exchange ideas and philosophies, and just enhance ourselves personally and as practitioners. And the theme of Friday's get-together was indeed identity. And what came up for me really interestingly was an identity, a part of myself that, although she's always been there, I hadn't really acknowledged. I'd been denying her presence, if you like. And it felt, or it feels, I'm still investigating this, it feels really expansive and liberating for me to actually finally own that particular identity. For me, it was acknowledging the fact that I am an artist. And that's something new for me to actually say out loud, because I don't know, those of you who may have been following me for a while might know that I do paint and I draw and I make things. And it's very important to me how my environment looks, the aesthetics of it. And that translates into my house, my home, my practice room, the books that I choose, the fabrics that I choose, what I choose to wear, all of those things. I believe we all have an artist self. But when people used to see some of my work, because I have a couple of paintings hanging in my house, and they might compliment the painting or notice it, and they say, "Oh, are you an artist?" Up until Friday, I used to say, "Oh no, I'm not an artist. No, I just dabble, or I just do it to amuse myself," kind of thing. And to be able to actually step into the fact that, yeah, I am an artist. I am an artist. It's a huge part of me, actually. And it's one that I thought that I would be, felt that I would be when I was a child. I spent my school years, actually, all I wanted to do was go to art college. And for various reasons, which I won't go into here, my confidence left me when it came to leaving school, and I got diverted onto a slightly different path. Now, I don't have huge regrets about that because I've great riches from going on that path. And arguably, I think I'd probably make a better artist now than I would have done back then, but that's a whole different story. Anywho, I wanted to encourage you to, if you do feel a bit kind of, oh my God, who am I? Who am I? What's my purpose? To actually bring that right down and just ask yourself, perhaps on a daily basis, who do I feel I am today? Because for me, I'm not sure that I feel fully my artist self every single day of my life. She's there, but she's not necessarily at the fore. Sometimes I feel much more that I'm my producer self. This is my language for my different parts. And it serves me better to embrace that identity, because the day that's coming up for me is a busy day. It's a day where I need to get a lot of things done. So by deliberately stepping into, well, first of all, do I feel I'm able for that? Do I feel that I can seamlessly step into my identity as my producer self? Or actually, do I need to just change my plans? Because today I feel I'm more in my artist self, and I need to go and take the paints up, or make a mobile, or just go beachcombing for bits to make things with. I want to invite you to reconnect with your different parts, perhaps parts that you have been ignoring for a while, or parts that you kind of know are there, but you've been like me going, oh no, that's not me, that's not me. And just see how that feels in your body, and how you can honour that part of you for the rest of that day. And just be aware that tomorrow you might still feel that that's your identity for that day, and you might not. You might seamlessly flow into a slightly different part of yourself. And to remember that all these parts are welcome. They all have a part to play, and they all together, when we embrace them and when we honour them and when we understand that together they make our whole, and they enable us to navigate our lives without taking from ourselves, and they enable us to shine our light at its brightest, then beautiful music comes out. If you think about an orchestra, we don't question the different instruments or voices, or the different parts that make up that beautiful sound. We just listen and resonate with that beautiful sound. And if we took one of those parts away, the sound and the frequency, the resonance would not be the same. And that's the same with us. All of those parts, as long as we are choosing them and they serve us well, and they enable us to make really good choices, really good decisions, and shine at our brightest, then we don't have to know hugely who we are generally, although it's lovely if you do, but just to ask, who do I feel I am today? So I hope that's been helpful, and do pop any comments in the thread below and let me know how you get on. And who do you feel you are today? Maybe you could just put that in the comments. That would be great. Thank you so much for joining me, and thanks for the hearts and the thumbs up. Okay, bye.